All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to talk about something that really separates the winners from, well, everyone else in one of the toughest games on the planet, trading. And no, it's not some secret indicator or a magic strategy. It's about a complete and total psychological reprogramming of your mind. So let's just kick this off with a pretty brutal fact. 95% of traders fail. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. The vast majority of people who try this walk away with less money than they started with. So what on earth is going on here? That begs the question, right? Is the market just this unbeatable beast? Or is the real battle, the real war, actually happening between your ears? Well, the source material for this whole explainer argues that the problem isn't the market at all. It's your mind. It's the programming that's been running in the background. And this quote, man, it just gets right to the heart of it. Every mistake, all the FOMO, the revenge trading, holding on to losers for way too long, it all comes from a flawed mental blueprint. So to succeed, you don't really need a new strategy, you need a new mind. So let's talk about how to build one. Okay, first things first, we have to understand the trap that almost everybody falls into right from the get-go. This is the foundation, the very foundation upon which all failure is built. Yep, this is it. The original sin of trading, if you want to call it that. We see it all over social media, we see the lifestyle, and we think, aha, this is how I'm going to make a ton of money. But you know what? The moment you connect the act of trading to the outcome of money, you've already lost. You're already on the wrong path. And that's the poison right there. You become so obsessed with the result, the profit, the payout, that screenshot you can post online, that you completely ignore the process. But here's the thing about trading. The process is the only thing you actually have control over. The outcome, that's just a byproduct of a good process. So this focus on money, it creates this powerful illusion, almost like a distortion field that makes rational decision-making nearly impossible. Let's dig into how this actually works. This is such a key concept. When you attach what's called emotional value to something, your decisions get all messed up. Just think about a first date, right? If you go into it thinking, oh my gosh, this could be the one, this is it. You've just attached a massive amount of value to the outcome. So what happens? You get nervous, you overthink everything, you can't be yourself. Well, the exact same thing happens in the market when every single click feels like a life or death decision. So let's put these two mindsets side by side. It's like night and day. On one side, you've got the ego-driven trader. They bring all their baggage to the screen, their hopes, their fears, their need to make rent. And on the other side, you've got the professional. They're just an observer, a data processor. They bring nothing from their outside life to the market. They are simply reacting to the data it gives them. Okay, so how do we actually start this whole reprogramming thing? Well, the first step is going to sound completely backwards, and it goes against pretty much everything you see hyped up on social media. You have to completely de-glamorize it. To get rid of the emotion, you first have to get rid of the perceived importance. Trading isn't your path to glory. It is not your identity. You have to strip away all that meaning that you've attached to it. This is the core action right here. You literally have to dumb down your idea of what trading is, simplify it in your mind to the point of being almost absurd. Forget the Lamborghini, forget the excitement. That's all just noise getting in your way. This is so crucial. The idea that being a trader is cool is a mental trap. Thinking you're some kind of hotshot because you trade just feeds your ego. And believe me, your ego is the single biggest enemy of your account balance. You have to get to a place where being a trader has zero social value to you. And this right here, this is the goal. This is the ideal mental state you're aiming for. Trading should feel exactly like waking up and drinking a glass of water. Is it exciting? Nope. Do you get all emotional about it? Of course not. It's just a mundane, necessary, routine activity. That's the goal. Make it boring. Okay, let's move on to the next part of the reprogramming. This involves completely flipping your concept of what work actually means in this field. It's not what you think. You know, in pretty much every other part of life, school, business, the gym, the equation is simple, right? More effort in, more results out. You can just brute force your way to success. Well, trading, it's the exact opposite. Here, the real work is patience. It's the discipline to sit on your hands and not press the button. And get this, 95% of trading is you literally just sitting there doing nothing. This is so important to understand. The real work is protecting your capital and waiting. Just waiting for that perfect A-plus setup. Forcing trades because you feel like you should be doing something is a guaranteed recipe for disaster. Sometimes the most profitable action you can take is to just get up and go for a walk.
Okay, now we're getting to the absolute heart of the matter. Seriously, this is probably the most critical software update you can install in your brain. You have to change what gives you that hit of satisfaction.
Look, anyone can get lucky and make a pile of money in the market. That's the easy part. The hard part is keeping it. And the only way you're going to do that is by building a foundation of rock-solid habits. These things on the screen, these are the real prize, not a single winning trade. And this table, this is where the rubber meets the road. This is where you can see the reprogramming in action. With the old mindset, making money, even if you broke all your rules to get it, feels like a success. But with the new mindset, that's a failure. Why? Because you just reinforced a bad habit. On the flip side, losing money while following your plan perfectly, that is a success. You reinforce the right process, and over the long run, the process is the only thing that's going to pay you.
So, what does it actually feel like when all this new programming is installed and running smoothly? Well, it's a fundamental shift in your entire state of being. Listen to this because it's pretty profound. When you're obsessed with the outcome, you're always grasping, you're always striving, you're acting out of a feeling of scarcity. But the version of you who is profitable, that person isn't desperate. That person is calm, detached, and they just execute their process. They are being, not grasping.
So the takeaway is this: stop fighting, stop trying to force the market to give you what you want. Instead, just submit to your process, trust your habits. You have to exchange that frantic, anxious energy of striving for the calm confidence of arriving. When you do that, success will actually start to flow to you, instead of being this thing you're desperately chasing down. And that's the question I really want to leave you with. And you know what? It applies to so much more than just trading. Think about it. In your career, in your fitness, in your relationships, are your daily actions building the habits that guarantee long-term success? Or are you just desperately chasing a short-term outcome? Because the answer to that question will define your future.